Y aquí tenemos a mi papá, Felipe.
Yeah. Felipe Negro.
Get it on.
All right.
Y ahora es cumpleaños también a mi papá, 23 de agosto. Go Big Cato.
Como una tentación, llenando de ilusión mi corazón. Yo no concebía lo que te quería, y en un mundo raro y por ti aprendí. Por eso me preguntas al ver que me olvidas.
Felipe Philip Mendez Casares was born on August 23, 1931, to Ruperto and Luz Casares in Calexico, California. He came from a family of 11 and had 10 siblings, 5 sisters, and 5 brothers. His family settled in the Fresno area, where Phil finished school up until the 6th grade. He had to leave school in order to help his mother and ill father. He and his siblings worked in the fields for 50 cents an hour. Phil married Dorothy Lugo at the age of 19 on June 30th, 1951. Tell me the year that you first met Grandma.
No, it was in December of 49, I think it was.
December 49?
Yeah. We had just moved back from Hollister to Kerman, where I was raised. And then I went to the dance in Fresno, and I met your grandma there. I was in the dance floor, and then all of a sudden we were there and they were talking, and I took her out to dance, and she's a good dancer, and we got it on, and 6 months later we eloped. We eloped in June, and I got drafted into the Army in February. Yeah,
In February of which year?
52.
In 52. He and Dorothy were expecting their first child when the United States Army drafted him at the age of 20 to the Korean War.
I was in basic training in Fort Worth when Junior was born, and then he got sick right away. Some kind of sleeping sickness.
Oh, encephalitis.
Yeah. And I came home, and well, he was in the hospital. Then I came home and he was all right. And then I got ready and we over here in Camp Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And I was waiting for us to go overseas. And then Junior got sick. I went to the hospital. And I went and talked to the captain, my company. Says, can I go home for a week? No, you can't, because we're waiting for orders can come any minute and you'll be gone. And I said, well, could you give me 24 hours? Because I got a brother over here to come pick me up and take me go see my son. He's in the hospital. And he said he couldn't do it. So I grabbed my little bag and I hit the road. I went AWOL.
You always hitchhike.
I was waiting for us to go to Korea. After basic training, they gave me about 10 days of furlough, and I went to Fresno straight with my mom and Dorothy and Junior. Well, I wasn't allowed to have a car in basic training.
Sure.
So I used to hitchhike home just about every weekend. I was about 400 yards from the enemy line. I was behind a big machine gun, and they kept me there in that hill till the war ended. They signed the truce the 27th of July. And next morning they picked us up and moved us off the hill. And they had the camp ready, so we went to the camp and had a party that was about the last day of July. I got a letter, the mail finally caught up with me, and then I had a letter from Dorothy saying Steve was born the 11th of July. I was there about I forgot that. I remember part of it, but I wrote it down, but my bag was stolen and everything, my private stuff wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I was in Korea about 3 months before, about 2.5 months before the war ended. It was July 27th. I came home August of next year. They extended me another year before the war was over. Oh, I had a house full of people. See, your great-grandma had died while I was in Korea, and Dorothy took over all the kids, and I came home, and Steve was just a baby. Steve was only about 13, 14 months the first time I saw Steve.
Grammy, how many kids did you have in the house?
13. My sister was there with her family. She didn't have a home, Elaine.
Yeah.
And I had my brothers and sisters with me.
I tried going to college under the GI Bill, and I was taking up arc welding. Fresno City College, yeah. And that didn't work out because, I didn't have, I had to go to work. I had to go to work and make money, and then all of us, we were there, and then I ruptured myself, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ruptured myself, and the doctor told me I couldn't do nothing for about 3 months. So I was there, we were in the park, I was laying down, I just barely got out of the hospital that week. I was laying in the park, and then my buddy, he was living here, went by, and he recognized, stopped, hey Phil, we started talking. And he says, what do you do? Not too much, I just got out of the hospital, I ruptured myself. He says, you know what, as soon as you can go to work, coming down and see me down in Dixon. My boss needs a tractor driver, needs a good worker, and that's what they do, so I came. There's nothing here for us, there's nothing. I didn't have a good job, but they had nothing. And I had a house full of people, and my brothers used to drop by and take me out, and we decided, let's get out of here. So I came over here. Your mother was a year old. The 24th of June, I came here.
What did you say to him when he said that? We're moving to Dixon.
It was kind of scary because we'd never been out of Fresno. But once we got here, we loved it. We never wanted to go back to Fresno.
And then I went back and got him in July and moved up.
So you came to Dixon first to
Junior,
check everything?
Steve, and Eddie.
So you came to Pedrick Road, checked everything out?
Yeah, I got a house there and went back there and got him, yeah.
And what were you driving then?
I was driving a 1949 Pontiac. I should have never got rid of that. It was the best car I had. But I wanted a brand new Ford, so okay.
And then how much longer after you guys were in Dixon that Uncle Michael came?
Right after we moved to the ranch, I got
right after we moved to the ranch. I moved over here in June of 56. And then Michael was born in June of 57. Yeah. We were out in the country yet.
Right after we moved there, I got there.
Yeah. Used to live out in the country where my job was. John used to furnish my home, a pickup and everything. So I worked for him for about almost 4 years. Yeah, and then I got money and bought this house and we moved in here. And that was October of 60. And then we moved in here. For New Year's, we were here.
We were here for New Year's of 1960, and then Mercy was born in
February
of 61.
So you were pregnant when you came to
Yeah,
this
we
house?
slept on the floor right there because we didn't have beds. We threw the beds.
And we went and bought a whole bunch of furniture from in Sacramento. And they delivered for New Year's, they delivered here. Mm-hmm. There wasn't too many houses. There was a few houses over here. And this house was built in 1956. And I bought it in 1968. And before I moved in here, this used to be the edge of town. The city limits was that street there. Yeah. This used to be Orchards when we moved into town. Bill Fairfield across the street was here.
Yeah.
He's the only one left. All the other ones are gone. And there's the only couple that were here when I moved in. Yeah. All the other couples are gone.
We were the only Mexicans in the neighborhood at that time.
And were people looking at you different, or
No.
They treated
I got
you
along good.
Definitely.
Yeah, because we joined this dance club. We used to have a dance once a month. So when I bought this house, I knew a bunch of people around here. Dorothy speak too much Spanish either. So, but then by the time we moved here, she started talking pretty good Spanish, and I used to talk Spanish to my kids all the time. They just weren't interested. I always like to keep both languages pretty sharp, sharp as I could. So.
What families that you guys still talk to today were around at
Bill
that time?
Fairfield is the only
Yeah.
one. Oh, and Norman.
Norman George.
Norman George is the only ones around there.
They used to own the Giant Orange. His mother and father bought that, and they used to run it.
So that's George's
Yeah,
Orange.
George's
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, right.
Got it. Got it.
When they've been like, I guess 60 years they've been in those houses right there.
I was working in Stowens. I had quit working for the farms, and I went to work for Stowens. When I was working for John Benet at the farm, I met this guy. He was John's neighbor, and they used to let me to go to work for him once in a while. I did some little welding, and I drove tractors, throwing the rows for the tomatoes and the beets. And he was the one. He was a foreman at Stowens, and he was the one that got me in there. Loading me, we used to load in the loading dock. We used to load the trucks start at 2 o'clock in the morning, and load up trucks till 9, 10 o'clock in noon. It was just us, the loading guys, used to go. There was 2, 3 of them. Us. We used to go at 2:30 in the morning and work till noon. I didn't like the way they treated the guy. The owner, he was a captain in the Marine in the Second World War, and he thought he was still in the Marine Corps. We used to treat us bad, so I quit. And that's when I came to work for Army. I knew one of the guys that used to work in the office, Jerry Couts, and he was the one. He told me, "Hey, you want?" I said, 'cause we used to go bowling every Friday. We used to league bowl, and he was one of them that used to bowl with us in Vacaville. So I told him, "Hey, whenever you get a chance, line me up in Armor." So he did.
Do you remember your bowling average?
Yeah, well, I had an average of 147. Yeah.
That's good.
First time we ever bowled.
Yes.
Yeah. We used to bowl every Friday night. I would, because they hired me to work in the loading dock and be a truck driver, because that's what I was doing in Stowes when I quit them. But then they didn't have no openings, and one of my superintendents was brought here from Armor, and he was the one that hired me. And he says, "Hey, I need help in the kill floor. Come and work in the kill floor till we have an opening downstairs where you're going to be in the loading dock and drive truck." So he put me to work in the kill floor.
And do you remember your first day
Oh
on
yeah.
the kill floor?
Oh yeah.
What did you think?
Oh God, smelly, but the money was good, and I joined. Well, I already had joined the union, the butchers union, so he started me on the kill floor, and I started doing everything. I started killing sheep. I started killing beef. I started from the floor up, and pretty soon they gave me a knife, and that knife felt good. And a year and a half later, I was assistant foreman. Yeah, I worked there for 23 years, and I knew it was going. I knew because I used to have a little office there. I was a supervisor. I had my own office. And I used to get all these magazines, these papers, telling the story about Armor, and I knew it was coming down. It was a matter of fact that they wanted to throw us out. They threw all our union guys out. I knew it was coming, so I quit. I quit it before that happened. Like I said, I used to like to drive. So I went out and learned how to drive those big 18-wheelers. Went and got my class of chauffeur's license and went to work for Valley Farm. I worked all that year, 1984. I worked all that year driving truck. I had a stroke in January, and they were in my class of chauffeurs. And the doctor wouldn't relieve me, so I didn't go back to work. They finally disabled me. And this is where I've been ever since. That was 1985 when I had that stroke. And this is where I've been since then, sitting in my comfortable chair.
Watching Westerns.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember about your kids in school when they were of school age? when they
Oh,
went to
God.
school?
I used to go watch them play basketball. I used to watch them go play soccer.
Oh, soccer.
And I was always, later on I got involved. I used to be the clock stopper when they used to have relays running. And Michael was a runner in high school. So I used to help him out there I'd go out there about 4 o'clock and I stopped to watch Michael run. Yeah. But Evelyn wasn't too much in sports.
No.
And then Mercy started playing basketball. They kept me pretty busy between my job and my kids going to places, take them everywhere. I was always involved with my kids when they were in high school. Always.
So, if I were to ask you to describe my Uncle Junior in one word, what word would you use to describe him?
I better watch out. Huh? I don't want to tell the truth. He was a lover from day one. He was 5, 6 years old when he bought his girlfriend over. Says, I want you to meet my girlfriend, then I'm going to get married. And I said,
So he was the lover.
Yeah, no, he was 6.
He was only 6. He was in kindergarten.
Oh, Steve was a quiet one. Steve never did too much. He played soccer. He ran track. And that's about it. He wasn't too much involved in too much. He's involved with his study, books. He learned pretty good.
He was your scholar.
Yeah.
Evelyn.
Oh, well, my drama. She used to be my drama king,
Drama
queen. Yeah.
She was your drama queen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Had a lot of fun with them in high school. We used to go chaperone their dances and stuff like that. Yeah, when Evelyn and Steve. Steve was already out of high school. I named your mother. The only one I named. She named the other 4. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I heard that Avelina Landin was a little Mexican girl they used to sing. And I don't know. I just fell in love with that name. So when Dorothy, every time we got presents, if it's a girl, it's going to be named Evelyn. And I got her.
And she got it.
Yes.
She is. Michael.
Oh, God. What a terror. And you know what? Every teacher in school, they thought it was the most wonderful, the most courteous, the more wonderful kid. He used to come home and, boy, start banging, punching Evelyn, kicking Mercy. He's a troublemaker in the house. But, you know, he kept that clean. He kept that low. Yeah. And Mercy, she was involved in a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. She was a majorette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. From junior high. Till she graduated.
She was very active.
Yeah, she was very, very active with us. And I used to like it. Because when she was a cheerleader, like if there was a game in Fairfield, I used to take all the cheerleaders in my car. There was no room in the bus, so they had to get their own, no matter what they were playing, football, basketball, whatever. I was there with them.
What's one of your favorite memories or best memories when the kids were little?
I used to take them to Disneyland, take them to the ocean, take them to Yosemite Park, and we used to go camping everywhere. I used to save 2 weeks vacation in June. As soon as my kids got out of school, we hit the road, took them everywhere. I always liked camping and traveling. I like to travel, I like to drive.
You love to drive.
And camping and driving was my favorite things to do when I wasn't working.
You're also a really good fisherman. You taught us how to fish.
Oh, yeah. That's when I met Burl, and he taught me how to work on cars, and he taught me how to fish, and I taught him how to use a knife.
Is there anything that you wanna tell us or tell your future grandchildren?
Oh yeah, I talked to all of them already. I talked to Sarah, I talked to Tyler, I talked to Micah, I talked to everybody. Good thing they came because I wanted to be alive and with all my faculties in place so I can be able to say goodbye and tell them what I expected them to do. And good, I'm proud, very proud of all my
That's what you
grandkids.
said. You were very proud of all of your grandchildren.
Yes, that's what I wanted to tell all my kids, that I wanted to know that I was the proudest man on earth with all my grandkids, my kids, my great-grandkids. I enjoyed every one of them. I enjoyed. And I want them to know that way. They can have good memories of me, at least. But too bad I can't remember too much else except that. But hey, like I said, I remember more stuff that happened 60 years ago than I do now, than what happened in the last 20 years.
You're always good with your jokes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Never forget a good joke.
Never. As a matter of fact, I told a couple yesterday
I don't remember you telling a joke.
about that little kid that used to go out with his brother.
Oh, no, don't tell that one.
No, that's not too good. That's got a couple of nasty
You
words
can
in
tell
there.
them after they're done.
Yeah. When I have my HBO special, I'll tell that one.
You should have had your own HBO special,
Yeah.
Grumpy.
You're going to be on
You know, the other day we talked about if you could be any job, what could you be? And you really couldn't think of one. And then when we stopped filming, I said, you should have been a comedian. Because you would have been a really good comedian.
I missed my call. I should have been a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got some clean jokes and I got some dirty ones.
Every
Yeah.
time we got invited to anybody's party, the only reason they invited us was because he was the person that told all the jokes and kept everybody laughing.
You were the
And he
entertainment.
would
Yeah.
never forget him. He would never forget the punchline. But now,
Now, I started joking and says, I look, Dorothy says, I don't remember.
I don't know it.
Yeah, but, oh, wow.
All right, here, I want to say one thing here. I want to be like my Uncle Phil when I grow up. Thank you for here right now.
Thank you very much. Sure sorry to see you leave.
Who gave you the name The Great Phil?
I did.
He did. He was the greatest.
Yeah,
According
when
to
I
him.
was working at Armour, and every new butcher or whatever they used to hire that didn't know how to skin sheep, they give them to me so I teach them how to skin sheep. And then one guy says, "Hey, they hired this guy from Woodland, Bill Martinez," and he come and they gave him to me so I could teach him. He knew how to skin beef, but he didn't know lamb, so he gave him to me. And he says, "Are you Phil?" I says, "That's me." He says, "I hear you're one of the best here." I says, "No, whoever told you it was wrong. I'm not one of the best. I'm the best."
Yeah.
Yeah. That was back in 1960. God, that's a long time ago.
Well, you'll always be the Great Phil to us, Papa.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. Yeah.
We've had a good life in this house. It's seen a lot of generations go through here. And it's still coming, so I told them I'll stay here until they take me out of here too.
Yeah.
I'll see you later so we can go dancing.
Yeah. I've enjoyed living and I've had a good life. But like they say, all good things must come to an end. Yeah. That's about it, Mija.
Once again, gathering over here, all the Casarezes, part of the Casarezes. The other ones will do fine anyway. Because, like they say, it's all blood. Here on the 10th day of December, 1977, celebrating the golden anniversary of my Uncle Phil Casarez. And here is the biggest group of Casarez I've seen in 200 years. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, here is not the oldest, but next to the oldest Casarez.
Well, it's nice being here with you people here. Nice looking youngsters here from Fresno, from Sacramento, from San Jose, and here we go on the mic, my brother Phil.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No joke.
This 8 or 9-year-old kid had a 19-year-old brother, and the brother had a car, so he used to take his little brother for a ride, and he used to go pick up girls. And after they take him out in the country, say, what are you going to do? You going to put out or get out? And the girls used to say, the hell with you. So they used to get out. And the little boy's watching all this, you know. And one Sunday he's out in the front yard with his little red wagon. And his little next door neighbor, little blondie, he was about 6, 7 years old. The kid say, you want to go for a ride? And she says, yeah. So she jumped in the wagon. The kid drove around the block. And he stopped and says, okay, this is it. What are you going to do? Put out or get out? And the little girl says, you know, I don't want to get out, so I'll put out. The kid turned around and said, what the hell do I do now? Says, what the hell do I do now? He never saw that part.
Thank you, Papa.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too, Mika. Thank you, guys. No problem. And the money this film makes, give it to your grandma. We're going to Hollywood with this, aren't we? Yeah. Okay.